Alrighty, welcome to the Balancing Healthy live podcast event. Yay! Thank you, Caro. So for those that are watching and not seeing this, basically today's episode we're going to go a little bit Q&A vibes because like I said to you guys already, I have a topic in mind. Sorry, I don't have a topic in mind, but there's like a million ways I could take this. Weight loss, nutrition, training, ADHD, like any of the things we could go and I could yap for little years. So we're going to do Q&A vibes, and I'm going to go to Kim first because I'm feeling she's got the ADHD question. Let's go.
I love this. So what have you found helpful to balance your ADHD brain, as in your thoughts turning into action, to line up your plans with the week and your overall goals?
Oh my God, see that's like too long a question. So can we break it down?
What do you find helpful to balance your busy brain in your life?
As in like how like, because I can take this so many ways. I can take it to like how I look after myself, or I can take it to like things that I physically like do, like work type things. But both. Oh my God. Okay. So something that obviously like you guys know, like I'm a personal trainer, nutrition coach, like I do all these things, but so I'm like overactive. Are you like overactive, like physically, mentally? Yeah, so I'm like, I need to get my energy out. Maybe that's why I'm shaking right now, because I'm like, usually by this time of day, I'm like, I've done a walk or the gym, or like I've done something, and like getting the energy out so I can sit and actually like focus. That's probably my number one thing. Because there are days where it's like, I know I have so much to do, and maybe one morning it might be good for me to sit and just like look at my computer or something, but most days I can't do that because I'm like this. And I'm like, I need to go, I need to move, I need to do something like that. So that's like the looking after myself. Obviously eating well, hydration, like all that thing. Sleep as well. I'm curious to know for you, because I have a few ADHD clients that they're like, they need like 8-9+ hours of sleep. Like they're like, I cannot function in the morning unless I've had like X amount. I can function off like 5 or 6. Yeah? You're that, yeah, okay. So I was going to like, sleep's important, but like, sometimes I can function better when I've had less. So don't recommend that. But for me, that's how my brain works. And then in terms of like work stuff, I'm very much like a list girly, but I'm a bit over the top. Like I've got like the 2 calendars, like me and Mitchell have like a shared calendar. So that's like personal stuff. And then I have my work calendar. So everything's very like broken down to like literally like every single client has like a separate, what's it in Google Calendar? Like it's called event or something. Like every single client is like mapped out like that. My time to drive home from work, like my time, like appointments, including travel time, like everything is like, doo-doo-doo. Otherwise I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, I've got so much to do today. And I'm like, did I do anything today? And then I'm like, I get really like stressed in that way. And then I have a physical list as well, like as in like I write it all down. When I'm extra chaotic, my notes goes crazy, like on my phone. I said that to someone the other day. I was like, you can tell I'm getting into like this event, like we're a couple of days out, because it's just boom, 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 boom. Like as soon as I think of one thing, it needs to go on the list. Like I said the other day, I thought of the speaker like 2 days ago, and then I wrote it on the list. I literally forgot. And we went to leave this morning, and I was like, let me just check my list. And I was like, the speaker, right? So like just having it all written out. And then one more thing to that, I don't exit my notes app unless I know that like we're done. Do you know what I mean? Like my notes app has been open for 3 days, which also gives me an ick because I'm like, get rid of it. Like I like to close the loops, but I know if I did that, I'd forget everything. And I wouldn't even look at my notes app. I'd be like, oh, just raw dog on the day. So yeah. Okay. Was that all the question? Because I'm like, I forgot the question already. The forgetfulness. All right. Tay, did you have one? You said you have one off the top of your head? Yeah.
I was just going to ask if you could give one bit of advice to anyone who was like jumping back into like healthy lifestyle, that sort of thing. What would be like your number one tip of where to sort of start, I guess?
Where to start, I think, is so dependent on who the person is, where they've been, what they've done, how long they've had a break, like all of that. But I will always say, and a lot of you guys know this, I will always say to start slow, start small. Like for example, with clients, we might just start with just looking at nutrition, or like just look. Mitch just got the phone up. That's really distracted me. Just starting with nutrition, or just starting with like implementing like small habits. Like example, you guys, some of you know Charlie. Yeah. half you know Charlie, in our call the other day, we literally were talking about like where I started with her 2 years ago, and all we did was we were like eat breakfast, like something so fucking small that just like you know you need to do, and you just start to work on that, and then you can add something else, things like that. Or if like, especially with training, getting back into training, I often find, because I did this as well, I would go like balls to the wall and do like 6, 7 plus sessions a week, and then it's great, like a week or two, and then you don't go because you have something on or whatever, something happens, and then you feel shit, and then you go really hard again, and you're in this like repetitive cycle of like go hard and then do nothing, and then go hard and do nothing. If you can like keep it really slow to start, like I have some people start with like 1 session a week. Like it's like, let's do 1, and then when you've got that down pat, we'll do another. When that's good, we can do another. But then again, different seasons of your life is going to change as well. For me, again, I was talking to someone the other day, I said, the busiest season for me was nearly 3 years ago now. I was working 3 days a week in the office, 3 days at MFW. I was trying to finish my Cert 4. I was trying to do my nutrition. It was December. I was trying to train someone up for my role because I was leaving the office job. I was like, I had like 10,000 million things to do. And for me, it looked like just doing 2 sessions a week for an hour. I was in, I was out. There was no other thought about it. So it's like just always looking at where you're at in your life as well, and like just adjusting. And I think a lot of people as well get really like, oh, but I've always been able to do like 3 or 4. Like I need to keep doing that, and that's when burnout comes in. So just being really mindful of that. Good. Anyone else have anything off that? No? Okay. Anyone have like a burning question they want to ask? I know like Lani, I'm like, I feel like you want to ask yours. Do you want to? Yeah, let's grab the mic. Damn it, I haven't thought of it.
What food best describes your personality?
What food best describes my personality? Oh, because I was going to go like my favourite food, which is, can anyone guess it? Kim, you look like you're ready to guess it. No, like my favourite thing, like I love chocolate. Like I'm like a fucking chocolate fiend. Ugh. But personality, I don't know. I'm looking at those cupcakes and I'm like, they're like fun and like colourful and like just really like out there. I'm like, is that me? I feel like that's a bit me. I'm going to say those cupcakes. Colourful confetti cupcakes, that's describing my personality to a T. So yeah, they're also very cute. So, you know, there's that too. Yeah, does anyone else have like anyone? I feel like Cairo, you thought of one for me. Okay.
All right, so my question is, you were talking about before the different stages of your life.
Uh-huh.
How do you go from, let's say, you know, strength training is like, you know, what was your vibe, you know, a few months ago or a year ago,
yeah.
But then you've fallen out of love with it. How do you navigate the different stages and what is going to suit your lifestyle at that point?
Yeah, so I like, when you were saying that, I'm instantly thinking of like your life and what we've talked about. Yeah, so because I was like, for me, I've always been a strength training girly. Like for me, if like, say I got like really stressed or there's a lot going on and I was burning out, I would look at lightening the load, like potentially doing like a deload for like, again, however long. Did anyone know what a deload is? No? Okay, so a deload. Basically a deload, and like I tell people to implement this, but like I don't tell you like you should do it every X amount of weeks because it's so dependent where you're at, how you're feeling, all the things. But a deload is pretty much like you're doing your training program and then you're just feeling kind of burnt out, kind of like cooked, and like you just need to strip back the weight, like go like even like 50% of what like you were doing the week before, and just do that for the week. Like it could be good to implement like if you're really struggling like around your period or something, like just like still moving but lightening the load so then you can like push the next week. Okay, so that's a deload. So that's what I would do. I would do a deload personally, but I have also worked with other clients where it's just they haven't fallen out of love with it, but sometimes your body actually needs to just not do it because it is a lot. Like when you're strength training, you're trying to grow muscle. Yeah, so you're actually putting your body under a lot of stress. So sometimes it needs to be that step back from strength training and something like a yoga or a Pilates or like simple stretching. Again, I had a client, it was towards the end of last year, and she was like a bit like office job, like high, like up the chain, like lawyer type vibes. And she was just like literally cooked. And like every week she just couldn't perform. She felt shit. It was just, I think she was getting into perimenopause as well. It was a whole thing. And literally her training, she was still coming 3 times a week, but it was literally stretching for 45 minutes each time. Like it was nothing more than that. Then she had 5 weeks off work. Like she got really fucking burnt out. She had to pull back. Comes back 2 or 3 times, like gradually reintroduced it. Because again, if you go from not doing any to being like, oh, I could do like an 80 kilo deadlift, let me do that. Like you're just going to fuck yourself again. And then you're going to burn out again and then you're going to hate it again. So it's just about like knowing what your body needs. Sometimes a health professional might as well tell you to pull it back as well. But knowing what your body needs and just kind of listening to it in that way. Does that make sense? Yep. At any point, tell me if I don't make sense, okay? Because that's very common. All right. Who's next? It's like Sammy. We've got the eye contact. Pass it to Sammy. Thank you.
All right, another food and drink question.
Okay.
What is your favourite drink and why?
We're going alcoholic. We're going just... Oh, you know what? I'm just going to say I love an Oxy Shred. Like, I could just think of nothing better in the morning. I just wake up and I'm just like, straight to my Oxy. That's why I'm shaking right now, because I knew I shouldn't have any. I was like, I'm going to be anxious. It's caffeine. It's going to stress me out, but I just fucking love it. An Oxy Shred. I could have it all day, every day. And I've been having it for years. And anyone that doesn't know an Oxy Shred, they call it a fat burner. Don't. It's not. It's pretty much a pre-workout. But for me, again, maybe it's ADHD, it's a more mellow one. It's like some of them will fucking send me crazy, but Oxy Shred is always good. Had it for years. It's a million flavours. Love it. But if we go with an alcoholic drink, let's take it back to there. I love a passion fruit martini, porn star martini, if you will. It's my favourite. And I don't know why, it's just yummy. Just the passion fruit, yeah. Yeah. What's your favourite drink?
Beer.
Yeah, actually, I did know that. Which beer? Mitch has perked up. He's like, beer?
I love a good pale ale or an IPA.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that's not Mitch. Anyone else who like beer? No? Yeah. Yes, Mitchell, hey. Oh, okay. Well, you can have a beer after. Okay. Britt, I feel like you want to go next.
Okay, so when did you last face a fear? What was it? And how did you overcome
Fucking
it?
oath, guys. My last episode. My last fear. Yeah. Skiing was fucking terrifying. Hang on. What's the 3?
So when did you last face a fear?
Yeah, that
what
was...
was it?
Yep.
And how did you overcome it?
So it was a skiing. It was nearly 2 weeks ago. And I didn't. I didn't overcome it, to be honest. Yeah, look, yeah. If you've listened to the last episode, you would know all about it. But, yeah, look, this was one of those things where usually it's when to know when to push through and when to not. Because I literally still, like, every single day, I think back to that trip. I'm not going to look at you through this time, Mitch. I think back to that trip and I'm like, did I even try hard enough? But then I'm like, this is the 3rd year in a row that I've literally, like, been in tears. Like, I'm just like, I don't know, it's just like a full body shock. I'm like, Cara, yeah, me and Cara talked about this. We're like, this fucking sucks. Like, why am I paying so much money? And I feel like I'm going to die. So I feel like you're a ski person or you're not. I can't think of one that's... I mean, this is scary. It's not a fear, but it's definitely out of my comfort zone. And this is where it's like, you just got to do it. Like you guys saw, I had a bit of a meltdown at the start. I was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to start this. But you just, like, I just always think, like, is it going to serve for the greater good? You know, is this going to better me in some way? Am I going to grow from this? And then that's when you can push through. If it's skiing and it's not really going to do anything, feel free to say see you later, because I would. Anyone else here, skier, snowboarder? No? Mitch again. That's just all Mitch, beers and snowboarding. Now I want to ask you the same question. Or anyone. Because I would love, obviously, like, it's my podcast and I'm on here, but it'd be cool to see, like, how anyone else has overcome anything. That's a good question. Lani, I thought that was you being like, yeah, give me the mic. No? No? Yeah?
I don't have a fear coming to mind that I've had to try and overcome, but I guess the question is, do you have a strategy that you tend to implement if you are facing a fear that you find works for you?
I was going to say try to think about it. Strategy, that's a good one. It's interesting because I feel like I am very strategy based, but I'm like, when it comes to fear, I feel like the more you think about it, the less likely you are to do it. So whilst, yes, for example, we can use this again, obviously like I had to get everything sorted and the logistics and do everything to do with it. But even like last night I was getting messages like, oh, how are you feeling? And I was like, I'm just not thinking about it. Like I'll deal with it in the morning. You know what I mean? So it was like I could just like not think. And this morning I was like, okay, now we're a little bit stressed. But then you're like in that zone of like, okay, now I'm just in the zone. Like it just has to happen. Like time isn't stopping. So you just kind of push through it. Do you have a, like, no, you just said you don't have a fear, ADHD. I was like, if anyone has one that comes to mind, no? Okay, all right. Was that helpful at all? Was it? Yeah. It's. I want to say it's a skill that you have to build. I definitely wasn't always easy to just be like, yeah, just do it. Like I would just back out of anything and be like, yeah, who cares? But I don't know, maybe it's a 28-year-old in me. I'm just like, time to be an adult, time to do things. Yeah. Okay, fabulous. All right, who's next? Do you want to go, Says?
I know you have an end of year challenge coming up.
Yeah.
And I know you want to talk about that probably later, but I want to talk about like more mindsets going into challenges, because some people are trying to get something different out of every challenge, you know, like what I might want to get out of this next challenge might be different to what Britt wants to get out of it. Like,
yeah.
I want to talk about mindset, I guess.
I love that, because let's talk about it. So you guys would have seen you've got little like cards on your chair. Basically, I am running an end of year challenge, and the way that I approach this is, I'm going to say, very different to how other people do, because obviously like a lot of people would call this like a summer shred because it ends 23rd of November. So it's like right into Christmas. It's like a shred for summer, like let's get the best body ever. But I'm like, that's not everyone's vibe, and you're not going to get that in 12 weeks. Like, plain as day, it's not happening in 12 weeks. So the way that I do it, especially with my challenges, is talk to each person individually, and I look at, like I was saying before, like where are they at in their journey, what do they want to get out of it. Some people will be like, I want to lose like 10 kilos in the 12 weeks, and I'll straight up be like, well, that's not happening. It's just, yes, it's possible, but it's just going to fuck you up. Like you're going to feel worse. Like say like coming into the silly season, you'll be like, cool, I was so good for so long, then I might have a drink at my work Christmas party or something, and then you feel like shit, and then you start restricting, and then you start doing extra cardio, you do all the crazy things, and then you just, it's not that balanced healthy that we want. So yeah, mindset, it's a bit different for everyone, and there's definitely some people that struggle more than others. So for some people, like the 12 weeks might be as simple as, like I said before, like having breakfast, and it's that mindset of like, okay, I'm allowed to eat breakfast, like that's their thing. Whereas some people, it might be like strength training. It might be like, okay, I want to start training, and it's like training to, you know, look a certain way, yes, but like flipping it to actually like not training to be smaller, but like training to feel stronger or healthier or more confident, like whatever the thing is. So it's very dependent on each person in how I approach that. Was that all of that question? How quickly do I forget everything? Yeah? Has anyone, Cara, have you asked?
I don't have a question.
What? Do you not have a card?
I do have a card.
Okay, this is a food question.
So many food ones.
You're on a desert island. You can only eat 3 things. What are they?
Desert island. So I'm assuming it's like, I'm on there for ages. This is my envisionment. I'm on there for a while, right? It's hot. I'm like, there's no fridge. So that's my thought. I'm like, no, because my first thought was like, what protein am I going to have? And then I'm like, I can't put any meat in the fridge. Let's just go. Okay, can I just make it like pretty much like my 3 favourite foods? Like, what do I always go for? I'm thinking my fave home-cooked meal is when we do the potato, broccoli, bacon, like a steak. That's like chef's kiss. That's my dinner. Oh gosh. I'm like, I want some freshness, but it's a hot island. Oh. This is the hardest question. Why have you done this to me? I should have skipped you. I should have been like, no question. Okay, that's cool. You know what? Chocolate? I was like, yeah, chocolate. I do, but I'm like, that's like, it's a food, but like, Huh? Yeah, it's got to melt. But then also I'm like, how was I cooking my potatoes? I was like, I'm not really thinking this through. Yeah, we'll say chocolate. What's my other favourite thing? I was going to say Biscoff, but like I'm not really that obsessed with Biscoff. I don't know. What do I eat? I think I'm so boring. I'm trying to make this fun. I think I'm in my head. I'm trying to make it fun. I'm so boring. Eggs and avocado toast. You know? Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah! Great. Okay, they're my 3 things. Wow, I'm so fucking boring, aren't I? Jesus. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, Tay, another one. Brilliant.
I just thought of it while you were saying like eggs and avocado toast.
More food.
But I was just thinking like, you know, it kind of brought me to think about like when you go out for like brunch or lunch with like friends and stuff, which obviously everyone does.
Yeah.
And, you know, you want to be able to do that sort of stuff. But how do you look at that in comparison to, I guess, like trying to stay healthy but not just making the healthy choice all the time, but making it like balanced and, you know, sometimes you're always going to be like, oh, I could pick the best option, or sometimes you'll be like, oh, just, you know what, stuff it, like, I'm out for lunch today, I want to enjoy myself, but you can't always have that mindset of stuff it, because otherwise you're never going to get your goals. So what, like, sort of tips, I guess, do you have on going out and eating?
I'm like, the clogs are ticking. So there's a few things with this one. It firstly depends on, like, what you're currently doing. Like if you're in a deficit, obviously you want to be more like thoughtful to it, but I'll start with like, say you're not and like you're just trying to like eat better in general.
Yeah, just if you're like trying to eat healthier, I guess.
Yeah.
And just like maintaining that lifestyle.
I always say, again, it also depends like how often you have to eat, but I always say like it's one meal, like eat how you feel, and sometimes you might feel like, I don't know, having eggs on toast or something like that. Sometimes you might feel like getting like the big stack of pancakes and have a little sugar. You know what I mean? Like it's like, I think it's very dependent on how you're feeling, how many times you go out, like really to your, so like I always say, like I say, one meal and then get back on track the next meal. Another thing I always think of as well is, say you're going out for brunch, you're probably only eating 2 meals in the day. Does anyone else do that?
Yeah.
Like even though I'm always like have breakfast, when it's weekends, it's like, you get up, you do a walk, you do whatever you do. By the time you have breakfast, and then you're really full, and then you don't eat till like dinner. Something like that is where I also go like, it's not gonna really make a difference, because you're not like going out and like binging and like going and like just eating to your heart's fucking content. It's just like you will know, your body will know. I always say eat what you want to eat. I should go into the deficit side of things, because I'm just so like, just eat what you want to eat when you go out to eat. Let's go to the deficit side of things. Let's do that. And trying to stay healthy and like trying to like stay on track. I will always, say like, again, depending on the day, like maybe you'll have like just your 2 meals, it won't make a difference. But if it's, say like I don't know, I'm really like fucking it. The clogs were ticking too fast before. With a deficit, what I would do is I would look at, okay, like, yes, say like you want the pancakes and this and that and all the things. I would just look at a comparison. Like you might actually, depending who you're with, if you can share, that's always a good way to do it, because you can have some like protein, some eggs, some bacon, some salmon, whatever your protein thing is, toast, everything else, and then have a bit of pancakes as well. But always think about, how is this going to make me feel? Do I need to eat all of it? Like, again, it could be a big fuck off plate and you're like, I actually don't need that. It could be fucking little tiny little thing and you're like, okay, I'm starving after that. So do I need to eat all of it? How is this going to make me feel? And what am I actually craving? Because sometimes as well, like when we don't eat breakfast, I'm going to come back to this, you get to the end of the day, or you get to lunch or your dinner or whatever, who finds that they're like fucking starving and they want to eat everything in the house? And then you start to, and then you realize you're like, oh, I wasn't even craving that. It's just because I didn't fucking eat. Yeah? So sometimes you might be starving and you'll want the pancakes and you start eating them and you go, okay, actually, like, I didn't even want that to begin with. So something I often do as well, say like breakfast or brunch, whatever, is at like 11, I'll have a banana at like 8. Like I'll have something small so my brain's not going like, oh, I'm starving, can't wait to get to breakfast, and then just inhale everything. It's like you've had something to eat, your body's like digesting, and then you get there and you're like, okay, what do I actually want? But a lot of this is like, I don't like to tell people like, you should just eat like, for example, like toast with no butter, and then you get egg, and then you get like sauce on the side. Like people do some weird fucking shit, and like it's just so unnecessary. It's just the way I'm talking. It's just so unnecessary. But like, just eat how you like to eat with a bit more mindfulness. There's little, like I said, little tips and tricks will like work for different people, but kind of take what you want to take. If that makes sense. Yeah? Did that make sense? The clogs were ticking too fast. Yeah? Okay. Is there any other questions? How long are we going for, Cara? I was like, yeah, look at the recording. Oh, really? Is that it? Oh my God. That is so much quicker than I expected. No one has any other questions? Yeah, okay, Kim?
This is going to be a fun one.
Okay. Is this the one you couldn't think of before?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit.
So there's days that we have where we don't want to say good or bad, but if it's been a day where it feels kind of like meh and rubbish, but you have a lot going on, what do you personally do to reset yourself so you're not bringing that home to Mitch, or bringing that home and bringing yourself down? Or do you have those days where you're like, this is just an off day? How do you reset for that rest of the evening and then the next day?
Yeah. So we're talking like more like mentally. Yeah. So this is something I kind of learned the hard way. But firstly, I'll look at like, are my feelings like valid? This is going to sound a bit different, but are my feelings valid in a sense of like, do you need to lean into it and like let it be what it is? Or is it like, this is something I can get rid of like before I get home or something like that? So sometimes, yeah, you just need to fucking like feel the emotions, because I for so long was like, no, I can't be sad, or I can't do this. And then like Sarah said before, I'm always crying, because crying is like, that's my way of like release. And I've accepted it. Like I'll just cry for no reason. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good now. But like, that's how I get it out. And I think if you have something that you know is like your body's way of being like, I just need to do this, feel this. If there's a certain activity you love, like bring yourself some joy in some way, but let yourself feel it. And then have a good sleep, have some water, like whatever the thing is, wake up, it's a fresh day. I say the same thing when it comes to like eating. Like say like you've gone out and you've had a million drinks and food and whatever. And again, it's that thing of like restriction and trying to like say, no, I can't have that. It's like, no, I can't have those feelings, but just let it be. And then just up the next day and just try again. I always say every day is a new day to try again. There's no like, wait till next week or next month or next year, like whatever it is, the next day, always. Yeah. So feel your emotions, feel whatever it is. And then if you're like, I'm being dramatic, then maybe that's when you go, okay, because I do that. I'm like, I'm very melodramatic. Sometimes I'm like, that was unnecessary. I'm going to chill now. And then, yeah. Yeah? Cool. Cool. Oh, Kara's gone. Okay. Did you have one, Lani? Oh. No, didn't have one.
So fitness is a solo journey.
Yeah.
To an extent. But
Unless you want my help.
What was that?
Unless you want my help.
Unless you want my help. Can you talk about what the benefit is in having a community around you?
Yeah, as in like, not like training together, but like having, like you guys knowing each other.
Yeah, what's the benefit of having a community then, like, you know, being like, this is my journey, I'm on it by myself, like there's no one here to support me sort of thing?
Because it fucking sucks on your own, honestly. Like, I tried to, and this is where I spoke about the other day, I was trying to do it on my own. I didn't tell anyone, like none of my family, my friends, nothing, until I made my Strong Sezzy account 6 years ago. But before that, like I'd started like seeing people post their journey on Instagram, and I was like, oh, fuck it, like let's just see what this does. And from that, it just made it so much better. You could stay more accountable. There was people around you that like, hey, I'm dealing with that too. Like, can we talk about it? It's like, you know, when like think of your best friend, right? And it's like, what do you guys talk about the most? Like, how do you connect? You connect because you have the same interests, like the same goals, the same whatever. It's the same on your fitness journey. It's like, hey, I'm struggling with this, or I've just done this, like, let's celebrate it. It's like people that get it, they're like on the same wavelength, let's say. But yeah, it just makes it so much easier. And then you got some besties and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's my number one benefit. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah, I love this. I'm not ready to wrap up.
I just have a question about like body image. Like one day you might wake up and you're like, oh, look in the mirror and you think, oh, I look really good today.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day you might wake up feeling like really fluffy. You're just like, oh, I felt really good yesterday. I don't feel good today. Do you have like any, I guess, like tips on how to fix the negative thoughts of your own body image?
Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't say I have tips, because I think it's something that like it's always there. But I think as, again, like the whole mindset thing, as we kind of are more aware of why we can have it, then it kind of lets, like, you can ignore it a little bit more. And not in like a bad way of like, oh my God, like just ignore my body, but in a way of like, say I went out and I had a lot of drinks last night and I ate a lot of food and like whatever, and I woke up feeling a bit shit, or like I don't look very good, but I'm like, I know exactly why. And I'm like, okay, I just eat well today, and then I know like tomorrow I feel good again. So it could be in that sense. There's also things like where are you at in your cycle? Me all the time. Like I ask that question so many times a week. Where are you at in your cycle? It's like your hormones. It's just like they kind of fuck with you a bit. And like when we are leading into our period, the hormones are doing all their things all in here, and we store a lot in our hips and our back. So do you ever feel like really like yucky, like your hips, your tummy, you feel really gross on your period? That's why. And we hold a lot more water as well. So if you're feeling shit, feeling watery, you get your period, just a shit time. Sometimes just be like, yeah, okay, I feel shit, and that is what it is. But sometimes, like, again, depending on where you're at, like, mentally, you can be like, oh, I know exactly why. Like, just don't dwell on it. Like, don't stand in the mirror and go like, oh, like, start picking yourself apart. Like, get the mirror away. Don't touch the scales, and just start to move on with your day. And, like, when you start to think about other things or where you're going for the day and whatever, it just, like, it becomes, like, a distant thought. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Any other questions on that? No? Oh, yes, you guys. This is so good. This is what I knew would happen.
I know you spoke about before sort of eating out, like going out for brunch and everything in deficits. But I want to know any sort of tips or anything you got. We're coming into, well, before we know it, Christmas season's going to be here. That comes with a lot of social events. I know this time of year for me brings a lot of engagement parties, weddings.
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff
you're a
as
busy
well.
gal.
But do you have any tips on how to like manage, like maintain staying on track, sort of whether it's throughout the week or outside of those events, so that you can enjoy them without feeling guilty for eating a bit more, drinking a bit more, because it obviously is more frequently that it's happening. Yeah. So I treat this the same way I would like when I'm going away. So I always think like, and this is why I talk about habits, right? Your basic habits that you can nail every day, whether it's your movement, your water, your sleep, like whatever it is. I always talk about these because say you have an event on, if you can focus on like, let's say you have an engagement party on a Saturday night, I will always do my walk or gym in the morning. I actually, really random, if I go to the gym and I'm drinking that night, it like fucks me. I don't know what it is. So I won't train in the morning if I'm drinking, but I'll go for a walk. Like nice big walk, just get the body moving, make sure I always have my water because that's really important to me. And just eat as per normal every other meal. So obviously December, like Christmas, there's a lot more going on. If you can just be prepared, it's all about being prepared, right? Those stickers, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. That's why I got them done for you guys. Like stick it wherever you want, take as many as you want. But if you can just be prepared for all those little things, like look at your week in advance, like what events do I have on? Where am I going to be home? Where am I going to be out? And just look at like prepare the meals that you can for those days. Make sure you've got your water bottle with you. Like things like that, like making sure you get enough sleep, like that is how you can stay on track throughout everything else. And then you have to think about it. Like you wake up hungover on the Sunday morning and you're like, oh, like my fridge is already stocked. I've already got my lunch or whatever. Yeah. Being prepared. That's my number one tip. Be prepared. Yeah. Cool. Anyone else? No? Yeah, Lani.
With being an online client to you, how do you feel about doing online and doing face-to-face PT?
Yeah.
And then do you have any other tips on how to be an online client and doing the training program on the side?
Interesting. So, first part of it, I'll talk to the face-to-face PT. I fucking love PT, and something that, like, I'll be super honest with. When I started my Cert 3 and 4 in fitness, so Cert 3 is group training, Cert 4 means I can do one-on-one PT. I had just started Cert 3 because I was working in an office full time, and I was doing F45 on the side as my training, and I was like, this is a vibe. You've met Monica. Has anyone else met Monica? No, you're like, who the hell is that? She was meant to be here, but she's working. I was just like, Monica, like, she was just having so much fun, right? And I was like, this is a vibe. Like, I just really want to, like, do that. And I fully was like, I'm just going to do my Cert 3. I'd always wanted to do a little bit of nutrition. I actually found in my emails, like, a nutrition meal plan I did for you in, like, 2019 or something. But yeah, I always wanted to, like, dabble in it, but I was like, oh, like, I never really wanted to PT, which is very interesting. And then I started working and, like, PT was, like part of it, and I was like, oh, like, I'm doing my cert anyway, like, I'm just going to give it a go. And I was like, I'm just going to go straight online as a coach for training programs. And that was the dumbest thing I would have ever done if I'd done that. I just look back and I go, that was so naive of me. Like, working in person and seeing how people move and their bodies and, like, different bodies and different movements and, like, how to cue different people is, like, has been the game changer. To be able to help people online, like, send me a video, like, I'm like, and I'll sometimes be like, oh, like, I'll say, like, a few things, and I'm like, take what you want from that and then leave what doesn't work for you. So I love both because they both serve a purpose. I think that was all for that part of the question. And then in terms of, like, being an online client, just ask all the questions. Sometimes, obviously, like, for training, yes, videos are great, but also you don't need to spend, like, people, like, will film every single exercise of, is that the cat? I was like, what is that noise? It's just like a meowing. Oh, God, it wants to come in. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't going to say. Oh, yeah, so online client, training, yeah, so, like, Sammy works out at home. She will send me every video from every session. Like, she's like, here's my form videos for the day, and I'm like, great, cool. But obviously, like, you're busy, like, you're in a public gym. Like, I don't expect every video of every fucking, like, movement. Like, I don't do that for my coach because, A, it takes up time. B, there's other people around. Like, you got to be a bit respectful of other people as well. I would just say, just ask questions. And even if you can't film something, you could be like, hey, I don't know, I felt my back a little bit in my deadlift today, and then, like, we can have a conversation from there. It's like, just ask the question, and then from there. Never too many questions. Like, everyone always, I'm sorry to bother you again. I'm like, well, that's why we're here, is it not? I'm like, ask me all the questions. So, yeah. Anyone have any training questions? I feel like answering a training question.
How do you deal with injuries that are still going?
Well, that's always a work in progress, isn't it? I was like, that's another thing, actually. Any injuries, obviously, online, in person, obviously, we talk face to face, but online, as soon as something happens, a little niggle of any sort, any kind of injury, always let me know. If you go to the physio, let me know what they say. Like, give me their info, whatever, like, what's happened, what they recommend you avoid, if they want you to do anything in particular. Like, we work out a plan as well. Like, as well, I have a few clients not here. They train twice a week, and one of them, like, she did fuck her knee. I'm swearing, it's my podcast. Yeah, she fucked her knee, and I was like, go to the physio, tell me what they've said. She sent me everything, and I was like, okay, there's a few things that are just very, like, body weight, basic, like, do them as, like, a warm-up, or do them, like, at home, or, like, something like that. Whereas there's other things, like, maybe they want to do, like, a leg extension or, like, a split squat or something. Like, I'm going to put that in the program so that I make sure you are doing it at least on that one day, maybe 2 days, and then they can do the rest at home. So it's very much like working with the other health professionals and also, obviously, the client. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Anyone else? Mitch, do you want to say anything? Good. Do I need to wrap up now? It's like, Kim, you kind of look like you're like I've got something to say.
Training question.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a back injury for a little while now, so I have gone to physio, chiro, my therapist, and working on getting back on track.
Mm-hmm.
I do notice that when I go back into the gym, even though I go there a lot, when I've had little breaks, I kind of feel nervous again to go back in and because I'm disappointed in myself because I'm not lifting my heavy weights and doing my squats that make me feel really excited and like, yeah, I want to hit that PB.
Yep.
It's like I've taken 10 steps back and I know I have to be careful. What would you say in terms of training that would be good to help you get back on track, but try not to rush it? Like, what have you seen from your clients that would help that mindset around like, let's just take our time and not make it worse?
Yeah, that is a good one because I dealt with injury and I had a similar thing. What did you do to your back?
Oh, just a mix. I have endo as well.
Yeah.
But just a mixture of straining it when I was doing deadlifts as well.
Yeah. So I was like that look down, you're like, when I was doing deadlifts as well, which is very common. So like, don't feel ashamed of that. It's obviously, dependent on the injury, how severe it is. Again, what the physio said, whoever you've seen, like whatever anyone said. But it's a fucking mind game. Like, and I think having someone to like a PT coach, like whatever it is, having someone to talk to through it. Because again, I fucked my hamstring 2 years ago now. I actually think it was after snowboarding, so that's one thing. But I like cooked I don't even know, like, I remember I was doing some split stance RDLs, and then I went to another exercise, and then I literally went to like pick up my phone, and I was like, holy shit, like I can't bend down. Like the stretch of my hamstring, I was like, that feels really not, and then I like couldn't walk, and I was like between PT clients as well, so I was like, fuck, I have to finish my day. And I was like, that doesn't feel good. And I remember I had the whole weekend of just like chilling, anyway, blah, blah, blah. Went to the physio, dealt with that, and then my back was also playing up as part of that. So I had gone from squatting, I think 50 kilos was my best at that point, to I couldn't even like have the bar on my back. Like it was really painful to do any kind of squats. And I had to spend a lot of time, like I spoke to my coach, but like told her what the physio said, like we worked together with it. And I spent months working like single leg deadlifts, like any kind of single leg hamstring, glute, like really focusing on like my hamstrings and my glutes were my issue. So I had to do a lot of like what felt like boring, basic, don't want to be doing this, like I want to lift fucking heavy. But you have to spend the time doing that, and just know that the more you do it, like I don't care how long it takes, but if you just keep showing up every week and doing it, it's like out of nowhere, you're like, oh my God, I'm back. Oh my God, I can squat again. Oh my God, now I can do 60 kilo squat. I think I went up to last time. Yeah, so I had to work all my way back up, but to be pain-free, to make sure your form is right, to make sure your body feels good, it's just, you have to like, just do it. Go slow, I don't care how slow you go. Because it is a mind game, you're like, oh, I hurt myself doing this, am I gonna do it again? So get support, get someone. Even if it's like you're in the gym and you're like, hey, can like a PT or whoever's at your gym, like, can you watch me? Like anything like that. Yeah, biggest tip. Yeah. So I'm like with my clients, obviously I'm watching them. So like I'm the support for that one. But yeah, cool. Don't be afraid as well. Oh, you're checking the time. Okay. Oh, someone have a question? No, Kim's just like, I don't want the microphone. We're going to wrap it up. Okay, thanks, Caro. Well, I had like two things I want to say. I actually did want to talk about the end of year challenge, because when this episode comes out, I will have announced it. So you guys here, you get like a little special extra something, which is why that's there. I did a little QR code, which I thought was really cool, but it was fucking easy. Thank you, Canva. But end of year challenge for Balancing Her. So I think you guys know, like I do Balancing Her. It's like an ongoing membership forever now. But I really want to do an end of year challenge for that motivation, to work on mindset, to work on certain things, because I know coming into the end of the year, coming into silly season, all the things, it can be quite like nerve-wracking. Like you said, like you're like, how the fuck do I do everything? Which is what I'm going to focus on during this challenge. I've intentionally finished it on the 23rd of November as well, because I know parties start end of November. So I'm like, I want it done, feeling good, and then you guys can go into Christmas and be like, live my best life. But yeah, 1st of September, Monday, 1st of September, that's right, I wrote in there too. New month, what is it right? New month, new season, new something. I was like, it was 3 in a row. Someone wants to read it to me. New week, new month, new season. So I'm like, Monday, 1st of September, spring vibes. It's like clean, what's it called, like spring cleaning, like clear the air. Until Sunday, the 23rd of November, I believe the date is. 12 weeks. I'm not going to go into the details because anyone watching, I'll leave a link down below where you can find it. You guys can see the details through the QR code if you want to join. Obviously, one-on-one clients, you're already a part of it, so slay. But yeah, that's all I want to touch on with that. I just want to make a note of it, balancing her, very exciting. And I just want to thank you guys all for coming today, which was very, very, very exciting. And obviously, like, I'm stressing, I've got sweaty armpits still. I still think it's too hot in here. But thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really, really appreciate it because obviously I wouldn't be here without all of you, so I appreciate it. And thank you, Kari, for getting this behind the scenes. I appreciate that so much. And Sarah and Mitch for helping me set it up and just dealing with my crazy brain the last few days because I don't even know how we pulled this together, to be honest. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's not really that much here, is there? But I'm like, there's so much logistics. I'm like, Kim, I know there's so much that actually goes on. Like, I literally said to you, I was like, no, like, it's fucking easy. In the last few days, I was like, what? I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I probably said the same thing to you guys like 10 times. I'm like, I don't know who I've said what to. Like, I'm just like, my thoughts are coming out. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. And that's a wrap. Yay!